Hey guys, how are you doing? I recently did a video in Arabic on how to read your taxes, the 1040, the personal taxes, because I received a lot of questions from people that how do we read, how do I understand our 1040? So I decided to do a video in Arabic, and a lot of people was happy that I did that because apparently a lot of people are struggling to read it, and that's okay. Don't No judgments here. I used to be the same before started doing taxes, but it's really important for you to understand how to read the taxes, whether your spouse does it and is in control of it or you are. You need to understand it because you are signing those returns and you are responsible for those returns. So don't fully trust your tax preparer, because not that your tax preparer is going to do something wrong, but you want to make sure you understand everything, ask your questions, make sure things are making sense and are correct. Because especially when the tax season happens, like a lot of people don't have time to give you the attention that you deserve. And another thing, tax industry is not regulated. So anyone can do taxes if they have B10 and even, but not necessarily they are educated enough. Now, you're not going to be educated as a tax professional, but at least you want to know the basic stuff. So I'm going to share my screen and show you like a fake return that I did in my tax software, just so I can show you what you need to read. Okay, so here is a fake return, okay? So this is the 1040. This is the form every taxpayer, every individual in the US has to file. So I used my name. So this is your name or your spouse. It depends on whoever is it a primary person, your social security. You always want to verify this information because the software might have a mistake. Your tax preparer maybe overlook something. So I always send the 1040 for my clients to verify this top information. I want them to verify their name, their socials, their spouse's name, their address. It has to be the current address because if the IRS wants to communicate with you, they're going to use that address to communicate with you. Then you want to verify if your filing status is correct. So in my example here, it's married filing jointly. All right. And then another thing you need to verify is your dependents. If you have a parent, if you have kids. And I've seen a common mistake, like when you use the same tax preparer over and over and over, sometimes your information in the tax software and what they do, they just keep the same information, because some of them and a lot of them, they don't have the questionnaire for you. And when they don't have that questionnaire, you're not filling the information every year, which you should. And if you don't know why you should, this is one of the reasons. And I do have a video in the with a tax attorney. She went over why you should fill a new organizer every single year, even if you are using the same tax preparer. And that's what I do with my clients. I know a lot of clients, like they are okay with it, but some of my clients, they don't like it. But I have to do it to protect myself, to protect my business, to protect you. Because if I don't do the right thing, if I got audited, it's going to affect you. So we need to make sure we do our due diligence. It doesn't mean that we will never get audited if we're doing the right thing, but if we have the right information, if we have the documentation, then it's going to be a smooth audit. Versus if we don't have the exact thing that we need, it's not going to be nice. So don't oversee this part. I've seen a lot of people who came to me as clients, first time clients, and I've seen a lot of them missing a child or two. It depends, because and they never notice, because they didn't have to answer an organizer. They did not tell their tax preparer, and the tax preparer just relied on the old information. So they lost a lot of tax credits. So you want to make sure you have the correct children names, the same, all the kids in here. If you are claiming any other dependents, you want to make sure you have them there. And then, so this is the number you want to look at, your income from the W-2. So if you or your spouse has a W-2, this is all the W-2 collectively here. So in my example, W-2, I just used $100,000 from W-2. That could be one W-2 and could be multiple W-2s. So you want to make sure you have this correct. You want it to make sense. And then another number you want to pay attention to is your total income. So in my example, total income is 99,000. And you tell me now, okay, how is total income is 99,000 and they made from W-2 100,000? Well, simply because in my example here, they have a Schedule C. Schedule C happens when you have a 1099 or you have an LLC or you are sole proprietor. Okay, in these three examples, you would have a Schedule C. And in my example here, they have a Schedule C, and let me show you their Schedule C. Yeah, this is the Schedule C, the profit and loss. They had 100,000 in income in Schedule C. Well, don't confuse this with their W-2. This is totally different. And they had expenses, total expenses, like here are the expenses. They have $100,000. Okay, so that brought them to a loss of $1,000. Now, if they don't have a backup for all this information, they won't be able to claim these expenses. Now, so they have a loss. This $1,000 loss reduced their W-2 income. So that's when I want you to make sure you don't do anything illegal, because even though they made $100,000 in their business, it seems a lot, but they had a lot of expenses. So they were in a loss that helped them bring their taxable income down. So they lowered their W-2. Well, I'm giving some tax advices here because, I want you to do the right thing and I want you to understand what you have to do. That's where bookkeeping importance comes in when you do your taxes. Because all of these W-2s, not W-2s, Schedule C, S Corp, partnerships, they're all passed through entity. They all fits through your personal taxes. So now, the other number I want you to pay attention to is now, okay, let me go to the AGI. So when anyone asks you about your AGI, this is the number you always be asked for. AGI, adjusted gross income, this is 990, 990. Well, not 990, 99,000. Okay, I do a lot of 990s for nonprofits, so my brain just want to say 990. No, it's 990,000, 99,000. Okay, so that's the adjusted gross income. This is a number you use a lot. Okay, the other thing you want to pay attention to is your refunds or amounts you owe. Now, if you have the number here at 35A, that is the refund. In my example, they're getting $11,000 refund, okay? And then if you owe money, the number would be here on line 37. Now, you want to make sure your routing number and account number is correct so the money comes to your bank account, okay? Now, this is Schedule C. For Schedule C, you want to pay attention to Schedule C because I've seen horror stories where the tax preparer claim a lot of expenses because they ask the wrong questions and you would answer the wrong question. I'll give you an example. If you are making $50,000, for example, you're doing Uber, you're doing any of these 1099 jobs that where you are a freelancer or whatever, you are making 50,000. You cannot claim $100,000 in expenses, okay? If you are in a service thing like Uber, like DoorDash, all of these stuff, you cannot be spending 100,000 or 90,000 when you are only making 50,000, simply because you are not a restaurant. You did not have to put a lot of capitals in preparing your restaurant or whatever. So you are a freelance, you are a service based. You doesn't make sense if you see here, let's keep with this example. If you see here 100,000 and then you see the expenses is 200,000, okay, for those type of services. If you see something like that, will run from that tax preparer, because you're going to be audited and you're going to owe so much money to the IRS. And I've seen it a lot, and to the states. Now, I think that's all. That's what I wanted to show you. That's it, guys. I wanted to show you this so you can know the basic. This is just the basic, and it can get more complicated, but I want you to understand the basics. I don't know how to stop this. Yeah, I know. Okay. So make sure you file your returns correctly. If you did not file your returns yet, you did an extension earlier this year, it's time to file. For your personal return, it's due on October 15, and for your business return, it's due on September 15. So don't delay. If you need help, feel free to reach out to me and share this video with people so they can read their tax return. Just basics. No one's asking you to know more than that, but you are signing and you want to make sure you know what you are signing, because you are responsible for what you are signing. Even if you are not responsible for filing the tax return, your spouse is, you're still signing. And I hear you saying, no, I don't sign anything. Well, your spouse is signing on your behalf because everything is electronically. And there's nothing wrong with that if you know and give a permission and you are by him or her and watching what they're doing, what you are filing, but to just someone sign without a permission, without you knowing what's going on, what are you signing your name on, this is going to be a problem. So make sure you know what you are signing, you understand your numbers. If you have questions, feel free to ask your tax professionals. You have to know what you're signing. All right. Have a great day. I will see you later.